Hey guys, welcome to this extremely overdue episode of LHI Productions. In this video, I'm going to be making this rebar dagger out of just a regular old piece of rebar. So it's going to have a spike on this end that kind of looks like a snake tail and a dagger on this end. We are also going to have an amazing test, so let's jump right in. Okay, so this is the blade end. So I've gotten the blade profile done and got this spike. This is still hot. Now we're going to start working on the spike. The blade profile really isn't done, actually. I just got it kind of roughed out because I don't want to get too far and then mess it up when I'm trying to work on the spike. So I just got to get this. I got this drawn out. I'll hold it right here, but it's still hot, so I got to let it cool because rebar is made out of stuff. Everything they've mixed together. It's kind of like a hot dog. All of the trash and stuff from other things is mixed into rebar. It's just you might have a super high carbon spot that would crack if I dip it in water, and you're gonna have some mild steel spots that are gonna bend over if you test it really hard, and we'll probably find that out when I test it. So I'm just gonna let this cool down and then we'll start working on the spike. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this part right here, and try to look something similar to this. That looks pretty sweet. I mean, this knife blade might look not like that good, but that looks awesome. Now grinding it will be a nightmare, but for right now, I am completely 125 million% satisfied with this. So I'll let it cool and then we'll get grinding. Everything I'm going to do done on the bench grinder. It's extremely difficult to grind the bevels on there, so I just cleaned it up, cleaned up the edges, made them nice and flat, ground in a little bit here, and made this shiny. and I'll put paracord in here for a handle. So now we'll just jump on the belt sander and get some bevels in it. Okay, so I finished up the grinding, so now let's head on over to the heat treat. We're gonna heat treat this spike up to about here, and then this blade up to about here. Okay, so let's test and see if it's hard. Seriously? Okay, so the worst thing just happened. As you saw, while I was trying to show off this file thing right here, how I actually got it hard, I knocked it over, and now all the oil was on the floor, and now I can't get this whole entire spike in there. So I'm going to have to try to figure out what I'm going to do. I still have a little bit of oil left. I might just end up using that. I got a little bit off the floor. As you can see, it is no longer a clear color, but I'm pretty sure I did get this side hard. It's not biting in at all. So now we got to go on and heat treat the spike. I'll figure out my mess that I made. Okay, it doesn't stick. Okay, let me move this so we don't spill it again. And let's give this a file test and see if it's hard. Sounds hard to me. This doesn't need to be super hard, but I'm pretty sure it's plenty hard. So now, before this shatters, I gotta put it in the oven at 400 and give it a nice temper. Alright, I got the heat treat done, and then I got the nice temper on it. So far we've gotten everything done, but the handle and then the final grinding. I'm not going to do any grinding on this spike on the end because I think it would look better if I just left it black with kind of like this gold look. It gave it a real gold look from the temper, which it usually does like a straw color. And then I just have to finish grinding in these bevels. I'm just going to do a small bevel on each side for a little dagger kind of bevel, and then we will be ready to test it. I have some really cool tests planned, but for now let's jump right on over onto the sander and get these bevels on. The grinding finished with this low grip belt. I got everything finished, the bevels in. Still got to take off this golden temper color in the middle, but I left that so I'd have a good gauge for where I needed my bevels in. So I also sliced open my finger. I got some blood on the dagger, but I mean that's normal. So now we are going to work up these belts all the way from this 40 grit belt here, I think, or 80 grit, all the way up to 2000. So let's jump right on into that. got the grinding done. This thing is sharp and polished up. It's smooth all the way up to 2000. I mean, it is super smooth. My finger's still bleeding, so I'm gonna go take care of that. It's getting pretty nasty. And then we'll come back out and do some tests. One thing that I did that I didn't get on camera was I sharpened the little end of this spike, but that took me about 5 seconds, so that wasn't even, I didn't even feel like turning the camera on. So this is nice, polished, and sharp. So now, let's head to the epic B-roll of the blade and a test. Okay, I feel like a dummy now because I said we're going to awesome montage and yet I'm still talking. But anyway, I said we were going to do something on the handle. I thought about doing something on the handle. I thought about a couple of ideas, and I really just think it would look better if I just kind of got this, I got these kind of shiny looking. I could do something on the handle. I don't know how to conceal it very well with the knots and stuff that I'd have to have it held on. So I think it's just going to look better if I leave it like this. One piece of steel, a pretty cool looking weapon. So now, let's head to the montage. Okay, so this thing was extremely fun to forge, not so fun to grind because on average the temperature when I was grinding was about 20 degrees. And I'll just let you decide if that's cold for yourself, but for me, being from Mississippi, that's very cold. I almost froze to death. The test was super fun. I enjoyed getting to smash some water bottles and crush the PVC pipe. That was pretty fun too. I am really impressed with this thing. It's actually my second knife that I've ever attempted to make. So I would say it turned out pretty good. I'll let you decide for yourself. Let me know in the comments below. Pretty sure I got a good piece because it hardened pretty well. Okay, so that's all for today, and I'll see you in the next one.